Inside EKU Sports. Brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky fresh. Welcome to Inside EKU Sports, a production of EKU Athletics. We'll talk both the round ball and pigskin today. We'll begin with Mark Elder, the head football coach at EKU. You play Murray State last Saturday. You rotate quarterbacks, Tyler Swafford and LJ Smith. On LJ's first possession, drive down for your first score. He had a career-long pass in that drive and then a career-long 33-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah, you know, we got two different guys and they bring different elements to the game, and that's very difficult on a defense to prepare for two different guys, because Tyler's more of a pocket passer and decision maker in those regards. LJ's very much a dual threat, and he still makes good decisions, does a lot of things well as far as that stuff is concerned, but his ability to run the football is a different element, and that's tough on a defense, because now you have to go in and be prepared for both quarterbacks with different styles, and that certainly proved to be beneficial for us at times this past weekend. And obviously LJ showed his capability to run and to throw the football on that drive. He hit a nice deep corner ball and did a nice job on that one. And then on a speed option play, there was a crease, and he found that crease and did what he's able to do and outran the defense and split them. So we like having the element of both of those guys in the game, and a defense having to prepare for both guys.
Tyler ended up with a career-high 289 yards in the ball game. You had your rushing game going a little bit better. Ethan Thomas back. He had a touchdown to go up 15-0, and he had 55 yards on the day.
Yeah, we were able to be a little bit more balanced this week, which was good, and particularly through the first three quarters of the game. And part of that's dictated upon where we're at in the game. And some games we've had to play from behind. And when you have to play from behind, unless your rushing attack is just unbelievable, where you're getting 12, 15 yards a pop, you need to throw the football. You need to have some chunk plays and those types of things in order to be able to come from behind. Well, in this game, we were in the lead for the first almost three quarters of the game, and so we were able to be more balanced, which is what we'd like to be. We'd like to run the football and throw the football in a balanced manner, complementing each other in those regards. And when we play close games and things along those lines, we're going to be able to continue to do that.
Your defense played so well for the first half, plus the early part of the second half. You hold Humphreys to 107 yards, intercept K.D. Humphreys once in the game, and you sack him 4 times and get a safety. You go up 20-7. Your defense was humming at that point in the game.
Sure, we had a really good start to the game. Gave up the one drive for a score right before halftime. I think they got like 60 or 70 yards, but they only went into halftime with about 110 yards of total offense. And they're a very explosive offense, so it was great to see our defense be able to do that. And then it was great to see, even after we gave up that touchdown, our offense having the ability to drive down the field, get it in the red zone, and kick a field goal to answer and get the momentum back right before halftime. So I thought we did a lot of good things, particularly defensively in that first half. Then you just got to see 4 quarters of football. I mean, that's something that's a reality. You have to have 4 quarters of football. And midway through the third quarter, we're in a good spot. We're in good command of the game, up 13 points. And we had a 4.5-minute stretch where the tides changed quickly and went from up 13 to down 8 in 4.5 minutes. I mean, that's a real quick turnaround. So when you get in those situations, we got to have the belief and the ability to handle adversity and respond, because you're still in a 1-touchdown game, and we got to understand, hey, it's a 1-touchdown game. Regardless of where the momentum's going, it's a very close game, and we got to respond and fight to get the victory.
41-28, Murray State beats Eastern Kentucky. It's on to Clarksville, Tennessee for the last road game. Austin Peay has lost over the last 3 years 25 games in a row, but Will Healy, their first-year head coach, Austin Peay is not the Governor team we've seen the 2 years previous. Very good, almost won over Tennessee State, gave up a touchdown under 2 seconds to go, lost 41-40. They are a much improved football team.
Absolutely. Will's doing a great job over there. You see those kids fighting, they're competing, they're playing hard. I watched a little bit of their film at the beginning of the year from last year. And those are some things that they didn't have, the fight and the effort that you're seeing from those guys now. And I'm sure that there's some frustrating aspects of they haven't won a game at this point in time, but you don't see that on film. They are competing their tails off, and they're putting themselves in better and better position. You look at their record, and it says 0 in the wins column. You look at what they did early in the year, and early in the year they were getting beat up a little bit, and the scores weren't nearly as close. But you look at the last 4 or 5 games, they're in a very much an improving program and an improving team. And I think that's very obvious in what happened this past weekend, but it's not been a 1-week wonder. I mean, that was not just a Super Bowl game for them. They've gotten better week in and week out. A couple weeks ago against Mercer, they were down 1 touchdown late in the game, kicking an onside kick, trying to get the ball for a victory. And then obviously last week, Tennessee State's an extremely talented team, a very good team. They score a touchdown with a minute to go to essentially what you would think win the game. And they went up, and then unfortunately for Austin Peay, Tennessee State drove the field and scored a touchdown with 1.7 seconds to go on the clock. So you see an improved team, a team that's fighting, a team that's very competitive in close games with almost everybody they're playing. I think they went into Jacksonville State tied at half, and or maybe it was 14-7, but they're very competitive right now down the stretch. So we're going to have our hands full. We're going to have to come out and prepare to win, play a great game to get the victory.
Going to have to deal with Javon Craig, their freshman quarterback, who was named co-OVC Offensive Player of the Week. He had over 400 yards total offense, 5 touchdowns, rushed for over 100 yards in that ball game as well. Mark will be back next week to talk about that game here on Inside EKU Sports. And up next here on the show, we'll switch it to basketball. We'll start with the women's coach, Chrissy Roberts, next.
And Marv, our blood sugar is dropping. Go, make us a plate.
31. And 31.
We'll literally die of hunger.
Would you slide in, please, Carl?
Big.
Freaky fast.
1.
Bingo! No.
Carl?
Jimmy John's.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
And welcome back to Inside EKU Sports. It's time for women's basketball. She played here, she's in the Hall of Fame, and now she's the head coach, Chrissy Roberts, and you are coming into a season off an OVC tournament runner-up spot with a lot of optimism.
Yes, looking forward to the season. Got a great group coming back with some new faces. Been working hard. You know, got challenged in our exhibition game. But excited about the future of this team.
Jalen O'Bannon is the inside power. She had 15 double-doubles last year, OVC preseason player of the year. What do you expect from Jalen?
Consistency. The kid is talented. She's worked on her game the whole summer. She's extended her range. Hopefully she'll extend it more and shoot the 3. But just being consistent night in and night out. Being able to stay on the floor a little longer for us. I told her after exhibition game, 35 minutes, like get you in and get you out. But looking for a big year from her. You
had a 21-point lead in that exhibition game against Young Harris, won by 4. What happened? What does the team need to learn from that game?
Press the gas pedal and go. I think. You know, and at times we did this last year, we'd get up and then we think, okay, now we can relax. You let a team hit a couple of shots, they build confidence, and now it's a dogfight. But we have some work to do. We saw 2-3 zone the whole game, and we have not worked on that much at all. So guess what we'll be working on all week is 2-3 zone. We could see some zone some more. But it was able to pull it out, but again, just don't let it off the gas.
Your new player that will be a significant contributor is Shavonte Naylor. She's a transfer from South Florida.
Yes, extremely athletic, nice mid-range game, has an unbelievable motor. She just goes, rebounds well, can play inside and out. Excited about what she's going to bring to the team this season.
A couple of other seniors, and you always like to have senior leadership. Mariah Massengill and Alexis Cooper, nice guards.
They are. I'll tell you what, we had workouts this morning, and just in talking to Mariah, her first half she played a really nice first half of ball. And, you know, we're trying to put two halves together and be consistent, but she's extremely talented. Lex stays in the gym. Look for her to be a big-time scorer for us. Excited about, you know, her and what she can bring. She's a strong defender. But those two, again, looking for some big things from them.
You go into your 9th year, and it begins on Friday night at home, 5:30 start in a men's-women's doubleheader, and it's against Bowling Green State out of the MAC. Are you game ready yet? I sense a little trepidation that you still got things to work on.
We have a ton of work to do. Got them in the gym this morning to get up some shots. We've been talking about consistency, and that shot is all about repetition, getting comfortable with the ball. Bowling Green State, they're a very nice team. I know they graduated a lot, but they signed some talent and have some talent coming back. The goal Friday is just to compete for 40 minutes. Can't be lapses in the game to where we just don't look interested. Like, we have to be in it, and we have to compete for 40 minutes.
Picked to finish 3rd in the Ohio Valley Conference. There's not divisions on the women's side. Because you got to the championship game last year, has that kind of been a motivator to say, okay, one step farther, let's get to the NCAA tournament this year?
Most definitely. We shouldn't settle for anything less, but that comes with work. And I tell them every day, it's not easy. You know, it wasn't easy getting to the championship game. But it's going to have to be a team effort, consistent work every time we step foot in that gym. And then the other thing is just being willing to put in work outside of what we ask them to do.
All right, Chrissy, good luck this season.
Thank you.
You still shooting the foul shots well?
Fouls and three-point shots.
She could shoot it, folks. I mean, she could drill it from outside, and she was dead on from the foul line. That's Chrissy Roberts, the women's coach at EKU. Men's-women's doubleheader on Friday at the Coliseum. And we'll be back to hear from Dan McHale, the men's coach, after this on Inside EKU Sports.
ここにチタンウルトラボット5000がございます。
ジミー・ジョーンズ、ジミー・ジョーンズ。
ジミー・ジョーンズ、早く来てくれ。最高だよ。ジミー・ジョーンズ。これ早い。
Jimmy John's, freaky fresh delivery.
10 seconds to go. Harper coming forward. Moves in top of the key. 6 seconds to go. The three.
Time to talk men's basketball now with Dan McHale in his 2nd year. Dan, you lost 3 starters, your top 2 scorers, but I know you're really excited because the guys you have returning, the new players coming in, and about the culture of this team.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, I don't know what this year is going to turn out to be, but I'm really, really excited because of the new guys in this program, the returning guys, the leadership, the really culture that we built. You know, we're built for years to come.
We look at Nick Mayo, OVC Freshman of the Year. Upside is huge. What do you want out of Nick as he comes into his sophomore year?
You know, everyone says, you know, the sophomore slump, the X on his back, the whole. He doesn't believe it. I don't believe it. He knows how good of a player he is. I know how good of a player he is. The next step in his development, I got to remember, he's only 19 years old. He's really, really young, is for him to take the role of a vocal leader, and that's what he's really assuming in his off-the-court presence, because he's as talented as it gets. Offensively, he's very, very skilled. He worked really hard on this defense this summer, put on about 20 pounds of muscle, but he's going to take the next step as a vocal leader.
We talk about Asante Gist in just a second, but a precursor to that is what it allows your senior, who is really probably your leader on the court in Isaac McClone, had a great game in the exhibition win over Georgetown College last Sunday, and I know you're looking for big things from Isaac.
Isaac is awesome. I mean, he's everything you want in a senior leader. Leads by example, comes to work every single day, does his job at a high level, and really gets these guys going. But the game against Georgetown, I hope, is just a precursor of the year he's going to have. He was aggressive, 18 points, 5 assists, and just was a very calming presence, especially when he's playing with a freshman point guard.
Asante Gist in the win over Georgetown, which, by the way, is the number 2 NAIA team, Division I in the country. So that was a tough challenge. He gets 22 points, 5 assists, goes 8 of 8 from the foul line. And I know he's coming off an injury, so he's not at 100%
No,
yet.
I mean, he just got cleared about a week ago, so he missed 7 months. And really, for his first game, just has such a calming presence and controls the game because he's always under control. But he's a special talent, even more of a special kid off the court. He's a winner, and that's what I love about him. He won 2 state championships in high school. He's going to be handed the keys to this team and really take us to the next level because of the type of kid he is and how hard he works.
Another guy that's new, that we saw his presence on the glass, blocking shots in the Georgetown game, is Zach Charles, your junior college transfer.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Zach does stuff that he just doesn't show up on the box score sometimes. And he led us in deflections, and 7 deflections. Obviously, the 3 blocks really cleans the glass. And him going after every offensive rebound. I think he had 7 rebounds in the game, but he allowed guys like Nick and Dishman and Marlon Amps to also get some rebounds as well. So Zach is an energy guy, the glue guy, a really guy that changes the dynamic of our team.
You mentioned Dishman and Adams, Dylan Avar, Parker Chitty. You've got guys off the bench that you feel confident in coming into this season as
I do, and I look back and I got to think now, none of them have really played college basketball. Right. Dylan has the most experience of anyone coming off the bench, and that was limited, even though he practiced a lot at Louisville. So I have to remember that they're all very, very young, but they're so hungry to do their job when they come in the game, and that's what's refreshing. And I watched the film over and over. The best thing is the bench reaction to when everybody scores. These guys are playing and embracing each other's success, and that's what's been very, very fun.
When there is a young team, there are always growing pains. What will add to the growing pains is you don't have an easy schedule, and it begins right out of the gate at home on Friday night against IUPUI and then against an NCAA team in UNC Wilmington on Monday, and it doesn't get any easier the rest of the way through December.
It doesn't. I'm going to be gray by Christmas. I know that, but no. I look at this in 2 ways. I want to have a challenging schedule every single year that I'm here. I want to have great home games like we have this year. I want to play in some fun places like we're going to Cancun this year, and obviously at Louisville and some good spots there. But this team is going to be built over the next couple of years. By playing a great non-conference schedule is only going to get these guys ready for the OVC.
I can tell your excitement. I can tell you feel. I'm searching for the word. You feel at ease where you are now, maybe a little different than a year ago.
Absolutely.
If you look back.
Absolutely. Last year was good. We had some good individual accomplishments. Obviously, Nick had a great year. Winning at Belmont. It was a good first year. Now I know I can now build this program the way I want to build it, and I'm really excited.
All right, look forward to it.
You got it, Greg.
All
Thanks.
right.
Take care.
Dan McHale. And of course, we'll be covering the Colonels on both the hardwood and on the gridiron. Remember, the men's and women's doubleheader begins with the women against Bowling Green State at 5:30, followed by the men against IUPUI at 8. Football from Clarksville, Tennessee against Austin Peay on our local radio stations or on EKUsports.com. And there's coverage on OVC Digital as well. Our coverage begins at 4:30, kickoff at 5 Eastern. Go Colonels, and we'll see you next week on Inside EKU Sports. Inside EKU Sports, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky fresh.